So today we're going to be talking about the youngest ranked fighters in every single UFC weight class. Starting off with the flyweights, we have got the number 14th ranked Joshua Van. Now Joshua Van is 23 years of age. 23 years of age, and this guy has already had 7 fights in the UFC. That is insane. Joshua Van has only lost one of those fights. He is currently now on a 3-fight win streak. He's very active. The guy is very, very active. That is one thing about him. The guy's constantly in there fighting. He is fighting again this Saturday against Bruno Silva on the UFC 316 Sean O'Malley versus Merab 2 card. But yeah, Joshua Van, the guy is so young. The amount of experience that he's got already under his belt, like 7 fights in the UFC at only 23 years of age, is next level. And some of the opponents he's been in there with are also at a good level. Like, it's not as if he's just in there with complete bums. The guy is going in there and competing with some real elite flyweights. Now, will Joshua Van be champion? Who knows? I think he's really good, and I like watching him fight, and the fact that he's very active, I think that can only help him, and the fact that he's so young as well. I think there is so much more for Joshua Van to grow as a fighter. But yeah, Joshua Van, I was surprised. I knew he was young, but I didn't know he was 23 years of age. But yeah, that is the youngest ranked flyweight. Moving on to the bantamweights, we have got the number 5th ranked bantamweight, and that is Song Yadong. Now, Song Yadong is 27 years of age, but it feels like Song Yadong has literally been in the UFC since the company started. Song Yadong has been there forever. Now, I'm surprised he's actually ranked inside the top 5 of the bantamweight division. He is coming off a win at UFC Fight Night Seattle to Henry Cejudo. Now, we know there was a bit of controversy with the eye poke there, but Song Yadong looked really good in there against Henry Cejudo, and before the eye poke happened, he was clearly winning that fight, in my opinion. Song Yadong, 27 years of age. He's got a professional record of 22 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. He has been in there with the elite of the bantamweight division. Henry Cejudo, like I just named. He's been in there against Petr Yan. He beat Chris Gutierrez over 5 rounds. Showed a good cardio in that matchup. Just completely destroyed him, to be honest. Went in there against Corey Sandhagen. That fight was stopped to a cut, if I remember correctly. Song Yadong was cut open really, really bad in there. But he took it to Corey Sandhagen, and the fight was competitive at points. He's also beat the likes of Marlon Moraes. Marlon Moraes is a good win to have in your resume. I know a lot of people like to clown on him because his chin was really bad near the end of his career, but beating Marlon Moraes, really good win to have. And he's also beaten Chito Vera as well. Like I said, this guy's only 27 years of age, but has been in there with some elite bantamweights already. Like, pretty much he's been in there with the best the bantamweight division has to offer, outside of Merab and Sean O'Malley, and Umar as well. But outside of that, like the main elite guys, he has been in there with. Now, has he beaten all of those guys? No. But he's been in there, and he's always showed a good account of himself. Like, it's not as if you watch a Song Yadong fight and the guy's getting completely decimated, like from pillar to post by his opponents. He is standing his base. Stand your base. He's in there and he's having a good count of himself. 27 years of age, very good takedown defense, a really good boxer in my opinion. I think Song Yadong is a really good striker. Doesn't pack crazy amounts of power, but he can crack. 27 years of age. Number 5th in the bantamweight division. Do I think he's going to become champion? Look, I'm going to be honest. No, I don't think Song Yadong will become champion. The amount of damage he's already taken at a young age, if you know what I mean. Like, yes, the amount of experience he's been able to get being in there with elite guys in the UFC, but also the amount of damage that he's suffered throughout his career as well. Like, it's not as if Song Yadong's chinny. He's not. He's got a good chin and he can wear damage. But he does sustain a good bit of damage throughout his fights. Some fights I'm thinking off the top of my head, he's taking a lot of damage in them. I just don't think he is going to be bantamweight champion. I think the bantamweight division is a very highly skilled division. And I just think right now, looking at the rankings, I think there's a lot of guys above him. For example, Jan's already beat him. I think Corey Sandhagen would beat him if they were to rematch. Again, even though he had a bit of success in there against Corey Sandhagen and it was stopped to a cut, still think Corey Sandhagen would beat him. I think O'Malley would beat him. I think Merab would beat him. I think Umar Nurmagomedov would beat him. So those are 5 off the top of the head that I think would beat Song Yadong. I don't think he becomes champion, but I do think he will remain inside the top 10 for a very long time. Moving on to featherweight, this surprised me. Gene Silva is apparently 28 years of age. Now, I know Brazilians are known for lying for their ages. Aldo's actually 97 years of age, not like 30 like he says he is. Gene Silva, looking at him, this guy's easily 34 years of age. This guy's mid-30s. There is no way Gene Silva is under 30. It just isn't possible. It cannot be true. This guy is honestly, I would even maybe go a step further to say he's early 50s. Look at this guy. He's had a hard paper round. There is no way Gene Silva actually is 28 years of age. I do not believe that for a second. But yeah, Gene Silva, obviously number 11th ranked now in the featherweight division. Coming from the Fighting Nerds, got a lot of hype behind him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next. I don't know who they give him. I mean, if they're going to do Yair versus Volk 2, which I hope they don't, then I'd like to see him versus Diego Lopez. I know that's a massive jump up in terms of the rankings for him, but Diego Lopez, Gene Silva is such a fun matchup. It really is. It really, really is. And Gene Silva, I think they kind of need to give him like matchups that are a lot higher ranked than what he actually is now, because he's a massive star. He is really good, even though he barks like I show speed, and he supposedly beat Bryce Mitchell, which I don't recall. I think what I seen was he sub Bryce Mitchell, but to me it looked AI, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. But yeah, Gene Silva, 28 years of age, lie. This guy is easily early 50s. Moving on to the lightweight division, Arman Shurukian. I actually didn't realise Arman Shurukian is under 30 years of age. This guy's 28 years of age. Insane. I thought he was like I thought he was like 35. I thought Arman Shurukian was like 35. So much more time left in the game. Will he become champion? Look, I think there's a good chance that Arman Shurukian can become champion. This guy is extremely talented in there. Obviously, he was meant to fight Islam Makhachev. We know what happened. Pulled out of UFC 311. But even the names he's already beaten, like he's on a 4-fight win streak now. He's coming off a win over Charles Oliveira. Before that, he knocked out Beneil Dariush. He's been in there with Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, Mateus Gamrot, which arguably should have went his way. He's also been in there with Islam Makhachev. He's been in there with some high-level guys already. And he's only 28 years of age. Look, I think Ilia Topuria stylistically is a hard matchup for Arman Shurukian. I don't think he would beat Ilia. A lot of people think he would beat Ilia. I just don't see it. But if Ilia and Islam weren't in the division, Arman Shurukian would be champion for a very, very long time. Ignore that voice break, in my opinion. Moving on to the welterweight division, it is Michael Morales. He is 25 years of age. Look, Michael Morales is now number 8 in the UFC's welterweight division, coming off that big win over Gilbert Burns. He is massive for the welterweight weight class. Showed really good footwork in there. We know he's got good grappling. We know that he's got good striking as well. And we have seen that he can pack a punch. I think Michael Morales can become champion? Yes. He is so young. There's so much more improvements that can be made in his career. He is undefeated currently at 18-0. I think he's going to fight Leon Edwards next. That's the talks. Does he beat Leon? I can see him beating Leon. But I can also see Leon Edwards beating Michael Morales. I know that sounds like a fence-sitter's answer, but it depends what Leon shows up. Like, if Leon's just going to crack under any form of resistance again, then Michael Morales is going to beat him pretty easy, in my opinion. But if Leon is going to actually establish his range, let his shots go, and actually use his fucking brain this time when he's fighting, then I think it can be a tough night in the office for Michael Morales. Although over 3 rounds, that does favour Michael Morales, in my opinion, over Leon Edwards. Leon is a bit of a slow starter. Michael Morales, and Leon's been in there with more elite opposition guys over 5 rounds, like an Usman, like a Colby, like a Bilal. You know, Michael Morales, that was his first ever 5-round fight against Gilbert Burns. Now, it didn't even go 5 rounds, so do we know that Michael Morales can go 5 rounds? Who knows? But Leon isn't the easiest to finish. Yes, the guy's been rocked before by the likes of Nate Diaz, but the guy can take a shot. But Michael Morales, really good everywhere. 25 years of age. I think he can become champion. Moving on, Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is 29 years of age. He is the youngest middleweight. Currently ranked number 11th. He is taking on Marvin Vettori at UFC 318. I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup. Brendan Allen looks like someone who'd be like, Cowabunga, surfer bro. Don't know where that came from, to be honest, but just looking at Brendan Allen, he kind of gives me that vibe. Vibes, man. Catch a wave. Vibe. But yeah, Brendan Allen, I think he's really good. I think he's underrated. Good grappling, good striking. Always chooses submission over position, which does cost him in some fights, like the Anthony Hernandez matchup. But Brendan Allen's good. I think he's much better than his ranking would suggest in the minute number 11. Do I think he becomes champion? No, but I still do think he's a good top 10 level UFC middleweight. Moving on to light heavyweight, Jang, Ming, Yang. Now this guy is on a 3-fight win streak. All 3 of those wins have came by first round stoppage. Obviously coming off a win over the late great Anthony Smith. He retired him at UFC Fight Night Denver, I think it was, with the Prad Tessie and Gary card. Look, Zhang Mingyang's good. He's big for the weight class. He's powerful. He's 26 years of age. Blockhead doesn't look it though. Man's been mewing for time. But yeah, do I think Zhang Mingyang will become champion? No. But the guy's a big puncher, and I think he can beat not a lot of the top 10 light heavyweights, not a lot of the top 15, sorry, but I think there are some winnable matchups in there for him. And finally, moving on, Talishin Terara, 25 years of age, 8-0. He's got one fight in the UFC against Justin Taffy. It was the feature fight, the UFC 312. He's not going to be the main event of a crowded fight night arena against Derek Lewis. This just goes to show how dog shit the heavyweight division is and how in need of talent that division is. Not saying Talishin Terara is shit. I don't think he is. I think he is good and probably will beat Derek Lewis. But one fight in the UFC, he beat Justin Tafa, who isn't even ranked. He's ranked number 14th, and now he's headlining against Derek Lewis in a fight night main event. Crazy. Terara won't be champion though. I'm just going to say that there now. But yeah, let me know your opinions in the comments below. Did any of these surprise you? Because a lot of them surprised me. Like, share, subscribe, comment. See you all again in the next one.